So, hello, my name is Prathamesh. My roll number is B09 and PRN is 2122000150. So, I the assignment is of multi-container application. So, what I'm doing here is I have one Spring project which will act as a front end and back end, and I will use a DB as MySQL database image, and I'll make a container out of it and host it on a port, and after that I will connect the two containers and bind them together in the Docker compose file. Yeah, so this is the Spring project. Basically, it contains the registration HTML front-end pages, and yeah, this it contains this is the database path where I would want my MySQL server to run the image of MySQL server. Then this is the front end pages, login.html and register.html. So what I want to do is I want to create Docker. I want to create basically a Docker file. I have created it initially, so I'll delete it right now. I will delete it. So yeah. So to create a Docker file, I will just use Docker init command, and it will let me finish the things. So yeah, src will be the main folder. So what version of Java is it? 17, and I want it to be run on 8 880. So yeah, so now the Docker file is has been created for this project. Yeah, it was just that one command. Now I will write a docker compose.yaml file. So I have pulled an image of MySQL before. I have a MySQL image and an HTTP image. I right now I do not have any containers running, as you can see. So what I wanna write here is the I want to register the two services. First will be the backend service, which is the Spring application, and the second will be the database service, which will be the MySQL DB database image. So for version will be 3.9 services. First, I will write the DB server. So the image I will use for building this container will be this MySQL, and its tag will be the latest. Then I've I will have to set the environment variables for the database name, username, database password, my database root password. So MySQL root password 123. MySQL database name. MySQL database will be uh, students or users, anything we can say. Students. MySQL username will be Prathamesh. Then the password will be the same pass at the registry. So port uh, for this database I want to use 3307 port to map to be mapped to the 3306 port of the image or the container. So yeah, so network I will use a network which will be the app dot uh, app network. So yeah, this is basically the DB server. I've set the environment variables, name, password. I've set the image that will be used to build this container. Now let's like write the container script for the backend. The context will be dot backend, which is the directory root directory of the application. Ports will be 8080 of, as I have exposed the 8080 here. So I will use the 8080 port of this container and map that with the 8080 port of my local machine. So yeah, and it depends on first I would want my MySQL database container to be built because the application uh, this application here uses the uh, database for this MySQL database for here this will be used the MySQL database will be used, so I will need that database to be built first before this application is built, otherwise we might run into errors. Okay, I need to rename it. Okay, so it depends on DB server. Basically, yeah, it does depend on DB server. So yeah, basically I think this should do it. I will set also network for this application. App network networks. So what is this? Oh, it is not the environment variable. It will be the ports. Yeah. So networks will be bridge. What is this error? Property context is not allowed. How is it not allowed? There has to be something. Okay, so it needs to be in the build. Okay, I think what I need to do right now is just I've exposed the 3306 local host 3306 of the container to the 3307 port of the local machine, and I've used that 3307 right here for the database connection, the 3306 as you can see. So what I want to do is just now uh, I will go one directory up and docker compose up build to build this docker compose YAML to run this docker compose YAML script, as it might take some time initially. I have run some kind of error. The driver has not got any packages, so it means there is something going wrong with the connection. Think this is fine. PRDJ message students password 3. Password database is students user Prathamesh. Password is password 3. So PDBC MySQL. Okay, it should be DB server, not the local host, because that's what the name of this container is. I think, yeah, that should do it. Let's try to build it again. But I still calling some kind of error. Communication link failure. I think I might need to write the environment variables this way. bring JPA Hibernate to automatically adapt to the changing schema of the database. So yeah, Spring Hibernate DDL Auto. I think this should do it. So the application is started. We can go and see that here to the register page. Here to the register page, I'll write Prathamesh 3123 and the email. Okay, so Prathamesh is already there. I'll write Prathamesh on a so to the login page, Prathamesh Mane Gus other 1 3. So user login is successful. If I try to use some other name like Prathamesh, not Prathamesh, like that, it will not get logged in. If I try to register some other names like um, Mr. Prathamesh and some password, pass at the 1 3, submit it, username Mr. Prathamesh, so it should get logged in basically. So this is basically the application. I've created the containers. As you can see here, the two containers are first the mysql, which is the DB server which I pulled from the Docker hub, and second is the CC assignment backend, which is the application which I containerized by using the Docker file Docker init command, and then I exposed its 8080 local host, and I then yeah, so that's how it's done. Thanks. My roll number is B09, batch 1, division B, final year, computer science. This is the ISE 2 assignment of cloud computing. Thanks.